The year is 1778. The bitter winds of Valley Forge have receded, replaced by a spring heavy with uncertainty. General George Washington, a figure both revered and burdened, stared across the Delaware River, his gaze fixed on the British-occupied city of Philadelphia. He knew the war for independence was far from won. Indeed, it teetered on the brink. What he didn't know was that a silent, unseen battle was already raging in the heart of that very city, orchestrated by an unlikely network of spies, with a grieving widow at its clandestine core. Imagine a world where the fate of a nascent nation rests not on the muskets of men, but on the whispers of women, the coded messages concealed in everyday objects, and the courage to betray one's own kin for the cause of freedom. This is the story of Philadelphia, a city under siege, not just by redcoats, but by secrets. This is the story of Lydia Darrah, a Quaker seamstress, whose quiet life was shattered by war, only to be reforged into an instrument of espionage that would save Washington's army from certain destruction. Lydia was no spy by design. She was a woman of faith, a mother, a widow struggling to keep her family afloat in a city teeming with enemy soldiers. Her small house on South 2nd Street, steps from British headquarters, became her cage, a constant reminder of her subjugation. Yet it was precisely this proximity, this unassuming facade, that made her the perfect weapon. It began subtly, as all great deceptions do. British officers, seeking lodging, commandeered her home. They saw a respectable Quaker woman, devout and apolitical, a harmless fixture in their temporary conquest. They saw her children, quiet and obedient. They never saw the steel in her gaze, the quickness of her mind, or the burning embers of patriotism that glowed beneath her placid exterior. One frigid December evening, the officers informed Lydia that they would require her parlor for a late-night meeting. She was to retire to her room, her family confined, the house secured. But as the fire crackled and the hushed voices began to drone, Lydia's Quaker conscience, usually so peace-loving, pricked her with an unfamiliar urgency. She knew these men, particularly General William Howe's adjutant, General John Andre, were planning something significant, something that could alter the course of the war. Slipping silently from her bed, bare feet gliding across the cold floorboards, Lydia crept to the door of the parlor. She pressed her ear